Hey, it's Tiffany with Standing Promises. I'm here for our nightly Bible study moment. This month, we're doing the Beatitudes from Matthew chapter 5. And today, I believe, is day 21. So the month is going by very quickly. I'm going to read the Beatitudes from Matthew 5, and then we'll talk about one of them. So it says, Now when he saw the crowds, he went up on a mountainside and sat down. His disciples came to him, and he began to teach them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven, for in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you. And so tonight we're talking about verse 9. It says, Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called sons of God. And peacemaker is kind of what it sounds like. It's someone who helps to bring peace. And in that peace, we're bringing reconciliation. We're bringing unity back to a situation where there's conflict. So it can be, people that we know have conflict with each other, and we help them bring a resolution. It can be that we have a conflict with someone else, and we choose to be the one who apologizes or the one who offers forgiveness and makes the first step. So we bring peace to that situation. We choose to let it go. So all those kinds of things. Or it can be helping someone become reconciled to God. So we teach them who God is, and we share the gospel with them so that they can bring reconciliation in their relationship with God. And so we can be peacemakers in all of those ways. But I was thinking about peace, and one of the biggest places where people lack peace is peace within themselves. They don't have peace about who they are or who they are in God's eyes. And so I think one of our tasks that we're called to do as a peacemaker, as a follower of Christ, that we're called to help people reconcile within themselves who they are. And that's one of our missions, or if you will, or one of our visions at Standing Promises, is that we help people see who they are in Christ and how God sees them. And so in doing that, we bring peace within their heart. We help them find that peace to know that they aren't either what someone has said they are, what they think they are. They are who God says they are. And so I was, thinking through that, and there are a lot of things that we carry with us that cause us to not have peace within us. It may be something that we did. It may be something that was done to us. It may be, just not feeling like we measure up, or like we're as good as other people, a comparison that causes us to not have peace. But, a lot of times we carry around a label that either was put on us by someone else or was, there because of what we did, and people are quick to point that out. This world is very judgmental, and people don't want to let go of whatever they say that you are. So, if there's been a situation, the world will look at us and, they'll say, oh, she is the one. She's the one who was divorced. Oh, she had a baby out of wedlock. Oh, she is the one that had to drop out of school, and she's the one that lost her job. She is this and she is that. And The world is there always to remind us of things that we did that they say is who we are. Yes, it might be true that um, this person has been an addict, has had an addiction issue. But the world will say you are an addict, not that you have been an addict, or that you have an addiction, and they label you as that. Well, in being a peacemaker, we need to help people see themselves as God sees them. And this is how God sees us. In Ephesians 2:10, it says, "For we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." And that's all of us. And other translations of this says, "We are God's masterpiece." And this is one of my most favorite verses because that tells you what God thinks of you. In one verse, tells us what God thinks of us. And not just us, but everyone around us. We are God's workmanship. We are God's masterpiece. That includes everyone. Everyone you come in contact with, everyone you see on Facebook, everyone who, everyone who does things you approve of and everyone who doesn't do things you approve of, they all are God's masterpiece. He created them and He placed them here on this earth with a good work to do. And so it's our job as followers of Christ to help them find that. Whatever it is that He put them here to do, we're to bring peace to their hearts so that they can step into those good things that God has planned for them. So, we do that. We've been working on that here at Standing Promises with our challenges that we did a couple of months that, we sent cards to people. And, it's just a small gesture like that. But when you take the time to invest in someone and show them love, it helps them to see that, they are loved. Even maybe they may not feel loved or they may not love themselves right then, but you can show them through a different perspective that they are loved. And you can help them, help talk to them about reasons why they are important or, good things about them and help them see themselves that way. And remind them of who God says they are. God says they are loved. God says they are cherished. God says they are forgiven. God says that they are His. God says they are His children and that, nothing can separate them from His love. And so to help bring peace within their hearts, our job as peacemakers is to show other people who God says they are. So, when the world might be casting judgment and, you hear the words cancel culture thrown around a lot, we, instead of canceling them or instead of judging or talking bad about them, we can speak life to them and over them and say, this is God's child. Maybe they made a mistake. Maybe they made a wrong turn. Maybe they made a poor decision. But God has something good for them to do. And help them and other people realize that just because they have made a mistake or just because what we see on the surface doesn't look like what we think it should look like, God sees them differently. God sees them as whole and important and special and needed and wanted, and we need to help them feel that and know that in their hearts. So blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called sons of God. So, when God speaks to us, He brings peace. He's the Prince of Peace. So, He doesn't come at us in anger and judgment of how wrong we are. He comes to us and tells us how we can be better. That maybe the choice we're making isn't what He approves of, isn't what He wants for us. And He shows us then what we need to do different to change and get back to the place He's calling us to be. And that's how we need to speak to people, and that's how we need to treat people. So we're going to look at people as God's masterpiece and help them see themselves as God's masterpiece. And in that, we are blessed because we get to be God, God's representative in their life. We may be the only way that they hear God, the only way that they see God right now. And so we get to be the sons and daughters of God to them and be his ambassadors to show who he is and how he sees them. So blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called sons of God. All right, we'll be back tomorrow with the new Beatitude. See you then.